Hello people! Hola, aloha, ciao, salut, ni hao, namaste, ohayo, yagamasima, здравствуйте, привет, bună, dzień dobry, sziasztok, hello, xin ciao, yabosio, tere, assalamu alaikum, saskeka, marhaban, merhaba, welcome. For those who don't know who I am, then my name is Brunel. Everybody else, thank you for joining me. I am so sorry, I have to apologize quickly first. Sorry, I haven't been able to film. I've been unwell actually. I was supposed to film yesterday, the day before as well, and actually before that as well, do some videos in between over the weekend, but unfortunately I've been unwell. I've had major headaches now. For most people, you hear headaches and headaches happens, but unfortunately for someone like me, when you've suffered from a brain hemorrhage before, a headache is not just a headache. I mean, they're so weird that I can isolate my headache and I can tell you when it's traveling from the back of my head to the front of my head. It is really, really weird and scary as hell, and it was so painful. I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't see properly. There was no way I would have been able to sit down in front of the camera and the lighting that's here and be able to film. So I'm really sorry. I'm feeling a lot better. I just wanted to try a few things here. I've got 3 items. These are from GWA, and this stands for Girls with Attitude. It is a UK-based company that's super affordable. We call it drugstore. I've got 3 items here. I've got, first of all, the eyeshadow palette here, which is here, and yeah, I've forgotten what the name of the eyeshadow palette is. Such a scatterbrain. It's not even at the back. The packaging is kind of like bling bling. You can see it. Forget the nails, by the way, guys. I mean, look, they're coming off. I've got this one off now, so it is only 4. I'm gonna take them off by the weekend, or tonight. But yeah, so it comes in this bling bling packaging, which is really nice. It's very light. And then on the inside, so you can see the eyeshadow palette itself is like so. Lots of browns and warm toned colors, but it's also got some cool toned purples or deep burgundy in there as well, so you can do a little bit of versatile looks. And it's got quite a few mattes there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 7 shimmers. Cost is £14.99 for the eyeshadow palette. If I am incorrect, I'll put it down here. And I've also got this, which is lovely and rose gold and pretty. I'll turn it to an angle so you can see. And this is the highlighter palette. It was on offer and a sale. Original price of £14.99. It has gone down to £9.99. It's got the rose gold and the gold there, so I thought I'd give it a try. Interesting. And also finally, one other item is this sort of pinkish but nude lip color. This only cost me £1.99. Original price is £3.99. Right, so that's 4 minutes in, and we've done enough chatting as it is. So I am going to get started, and the first brush I'm going to use is this one here, which is from the BH Cosmetics number 5. And yeah, I'm just going to dip in and doing editing. I'll show you the close up of all the shades that I've used. But I'm going to start off with Sunrise, which is obviously a bit more yellow. Dabbing in, there's a bit of fallout actually, even in the palette itself. So you have to be gentle with it. On the base of my eyes, I've actually got pigment. It does feel a bit powdery, but it's very pigmented. And it doesn't adhere to I'm trying to make sure that it just blends smoothly, and it doesn't sort of grab onto the base. As a base, I use the usual, which is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I always use that, and then I go over it with a brush to try and make sure everything is mattified. I don't like when it is sticky unless I'm actually trying to do a cut crease. But dabbing in, you get a lot of color pigment actually, and yeah, it blends in very easily. So I started off with Sunrise. I'm going to move to the next color next to it, which is Voyage. So this one here, and I'm using the same brush And I'm just going to apply that slightly lower. And again, you get a lot of color pigment that comes on the brush, but also a lot of fallout. So this one you have to tap very gently. But so far, I'm quite impressed, and it would help if I was to take the cover off so I can see properly on the mirror. So it started from, ooh, ooh, oh, you see that? Ooh, hopefully it's in focus. Yeah, whoa. I am shocked. I am shocked at the pigmentation. If you see that my skin is looking a bit funny, I was trying a new foundation, and yeah, I didn't get the chance to set it, and I've been fiddling about with my camera for ages, and it's looking a bit, but I'll sort it out. But look at the pigment in that. Not done, done. It is so good. I am so impressed. In keeping with the laziness that is me right now, I'm going to keep the same brush. Actually, sometimes I do that when I haven't got time, and or when the colors are so similar. And I'm going to go for the color below, which is this one here, which is called Pacific. Oh yeah, I love the lighting. I think things are much clearer now. Yes, yes. I've been trying so hard to try and make sure that everything's, you can see all the colors. So I'm going to go for this one. And then we're going to try one more color. I'll have to change the brush. So Pacific, we're going to try again the same thing. 3 taps, and the amount of color payoff. There's quite a bit of fallout, but you have to be super gentle with these. So let's try it out and see. Oh yeah. And I'm just going to concentrate now more within my crease line. Oh yeah, just deepening that shade. Going in with the Zoeva 228 brush. I'm now going to go for the dark brown here, which is called Atlantis. There's Atlantis. And I'm just going to mainly concentrate that on the outer edge of the eye. Ooh! Oh! Oh my God! I'm going to tap it a couple more times very gently. Oh, my. Okay, let's see whether that transfers properly on the eye. I'm just going to pack that in the corner first. So initially not as dark as I was expecting it, which is a shame because the pigment comes off of it. So you do have to build it up. Yeah, so it is buildable, as you can see. But I'm going to want it a lot darker. I'm trying to avoid it, like almost like a black shade. That's better. Right, so it has gotten darker, but I actually want it darker than that. So I'm going to have to go with Twilight, which is almost like a greyish black. And I'm just going to really concentrate that on the outer corner of the eye. I didn't want to really smoke it out today, but it is what it is. That's better. Oh, no, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to pat that down, but I'm not going to try and build it up too much because, as I said, I don't want it to be too dark. I'm going to elongate that slightly to make my eyes look longer rather than round. So I'm going to keep that on the outer third of the eye. Going back in with the BH Cosmetic brush. I'm not going to add any more product. I'm just going to try and blend everything very gently. I'm going in with the Milani Make It Last. I've not used it before, so I'm just literally just opened it. I'm also going to use it as a first impression very shortly, but for now I'm just going to apply that on the brush. And this brush is the Morphe M224 brush, and I'm going to go in with the light gold shade, this one here. that one. This is Treasure, so I'm going in with Treasure. And I'm going to try with a wet brush because I have a feeling, I'm looking at the consistency of it and I'm thinking it's not going to work with just your fingers. So I've got a bit of product here. And I'm going to take that on the inner corner of the eye to see. Okay. Right, formula wise, when it comes to the shimmers, they're not the softest, and really I was expecting a lot more intensity with this bright gold. I brought you in a little bit closer. Right, I'm not necessarily impressed with the gold Treasure, which is really so bright and it needs to be a lot more vibrant. I don't like the consistency of the shadows. They're not creamy and soft enough, and you do have to work to get them to even stay on the eyes, even with a wet brush. And the only way that it really works properly is if you sort of do slight drags across to your lid and then you get it to stay. If you tap it, it doesn't do anything at all. I tried it with my finger on the other eye, again, no point at all. So not impressed with regards to the shimmers, but what I'm going to go for is Tropical, this dark grey shade here. And I'm going to apply that on the outer corner and try and join the two together. Yeah, this is not impressive at all. I'm struggling to even see the shade. So what I'm going to do is finish off most of my face off camera, do a concealer, sort out my face with regard to this foundation, around my nose and sort all that stuff. At the bottom of my eyes, I'm going to apply Pacific as well as Atlantis to try and deepen things. And those will be Atlantis here and then Pacific down here. And then we are going to try out both the highlighter and the lipstick, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on all three of these items. So I'll be back very shortly. Alrighty, so as you can see, the eyes have been done. We are going to move on. I've got my lip pencil on, which is from Morphe in the color Bars, the chocolate type one. I've got it all over the lips. And I'm just going to move on to the highlighter first. I'm not going to use a highlighter brush because I can't find it, but I'm going to use this one, which is the Zoeva 134 Luxe powder brush. That will work. And I'm just going to apply this color Honeycomb. I mean, come on, these are actually really pretty. So I'm going to use Honeycomb, which is this one here in the corner. So we are going to go for that, and I'm going to see, okay, not too much coming off on the brush, and okay, I had a little bit of an accident and put dark stuff on my face there, so ignore that, and ignore the messy cover as well. I've made a right mess of it. I mean, it is effective, you can see it there. Whew. Wow, it shows a lot better on camera, but for me personally, on the skin, it's a little bit too textured, and if you haven't got smooth skin, it really kind of shows that. But it is a pretty color, I can see that. Ooh, this is actually quite pretty. I'm just not sure how it's going to show on camera, but it is actually quite a pretty shade. It does show, it just, I feel as if it kind of emphasizes the texture on my cheekbones, which I have plenty of, just where it is. And no, I'm not going to go for surgery or I'm going to peel off out my skin, but I was going to try another shade on top of that. I'm going to try to go for peach. I'm going to go for Peach Fizz, which is actually looks as if the grains are a lot finer, so I might be a lot happier with that. That's the middle shade, and we're just going to, I mean, when I say middle shade, I mean this one here. And I'm just going to apply that just a tiny amount, a smidgen on top. Oh yeah, you can see the difference. Woo! Lordy. I don't normally do that much highlighter, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to blind people when I go out. Ooh. Now I'm going to find the one with the lipstick, which is in the color Mermaid Kiss. So I'm just going to try that shade. Hopefully it looks decent. And I'm just going to see. Ooh. Very peachy. That. I'm wondering if it's got a smell to it. Not particularly. Right, so I am not happy with this formula at all. It feels a bit kind of weird, almost as if you're going to peel it off. You can see the inside of the lip bit. It's jagged, it's not smooth, and it gets worse if you go over the apply it again, and then you just try and stick your lips together, try and blend it all in. It just doesn't quite work. So I'm sorry, but the formula is a no. The color is not too bad. I could have made it work if I was able to spend more time blending it in, if it was more creamy, but it does dry to matte, and by the time this is just not, it's matte-ish, but it's kind of still sticky. So but now the more you do that, the more it kind of builds up bits on it, and it's just not nice at all. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go for something not too far off, which is the Lottie one, and then work through that. So I'm going to go also finish off the rest of my face. Okay, this is my face all done. Right, on the inner corner of my eye, I use the Revolution highlighter palette, and that's that. So let's go first with the one that I would say out of the whole lot would be okay. That is the highlighter palette. Although it's got one shade there that I would not use, which is like the grainy one, which is probably will apply better if you put a bit of pressure. You can even use it on your eyes. It doesn't necessarily do anything for me on the inner corner, and there was a bit of fallout. But the other three shades are actually pretty, and there is a lot more emphasis because I've got one ring light and I've got two soft boxes now, and they're all kind of set really low so that it's not the exposure is not too bright. But even with those set at low, there is also still an emphasis on stuff. So you're going to see the highlighter there shows a lot more in normal daylight. In normal daylight, it's actually really pretty. It's really much more subtle than I was expecting it to be, and it's a lot prettier, and it's not so bad. So as long as I'm kind of careful with it, not go too nutty, or on the days when I've got a bad skin day, to leave that alone, then actually it will be really fine. It is actually quite pretty, even in this light, like a pow pow pow, like a pow 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 kind of thing. So I do like that about it. So I would actually say, yeah, you know what, that's not bad at all, especially at £9.99 with 4 different colors. It's for you're likely to get more of your money because you've got 4 different shades you can play about with those, and you can actually use them on your eyes as well as eyeshadow, or to pop any of the colors. For the eyeshadow palette, it's a no, because I was actually disappointed, because I was expecting the matte to be as the shimmers to be as good as the matte, and they were not. Yes, granted, I tried 2 colors, but I also tried to play with the other colors of cameras, trying to swatch them. Is a no. You don't get much color pickup because the consistency is, I don't know how to explain it. It's not battery soft enough to allows you to be able to touch it and be able to glide it onto your skin. It's just not, it was just too, there wasn't much there. It didn't come off at all. And then applying it to the eyes, I thought maybe sometimes things swatch badly, they apply better on the eyes. It didn't happen that way. It was a lot more work and trying to apply them than it was to do with, when I dealt with the matte. So I would say it's a no, because I just don't see how it's worth, yes, it's £14, but it's just when you're taking into account you're not going to be able to use the matte, so you're going to have to put a lot more effort into it in comparison to the on the shimmers, in comparison to the mattes, then to me it's a no. You're better off going for a BH Cosmetics, you know, eyeshadow palette. You know, maybe you might have to spend an extra £5, but you know what, it is worth it for that. And they are quite pigmented, and I've got quite a few of those palettes as well. So that's a no. The lipstick is an absolute categorical no way, Jose. The formula kind of it started drying, and once it dried, and it didn't take long to dry, so if there's one good thing for me to say about the formula is that it dries super quick. However, once it is dried, you are going to struggle to get that beep off of your lips. It took me about 20 minutes of scrubbing to the point where my lips were sore to get it off, but I had to get it off because what happened was the bits where it stuck on the lips, it became kind of grainy, and it made it look as if I got really dry patches on my lips, and it was just horrible. I just, no, I couldn't. In the end, I tried oil, some of it came off, and then in the end, which I wouldn't recommend, by the way, I had to use a brush cleaner and try and put that on my lips and make sure that I didn't get it into my mouth, and to try and rub that off in order to get most of it off, and it was hard work, and I would just be, no. So I'm really sorry. It's not positive. I don't mean to be mean. I'm not trying to be, and I want to support, you know, I don't want to be mean to any company. And I want to support UK-based companies, but for me, I have to be honest at the end of the day, because that's one thing that I would keep no matter what, my integrity, and I'm not going to lose that. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion every time. You may agree or disagree with it. That's fine. That's your choice. Especially if you go and spend out your money, then you want something to work. And I bought all of these myself, so there was no kind of someone sent me this or that, or I'm trying to be mean because I bought it myself. Majority of the stuff that I've got here, 90% or even 98%, I buy every single one of them. So anyway, that's enough yapping. Will I ever try some of their products again? Yes, I'm actually looking forward to using their brushes, so hopefully that's okay. But as usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment if you haven't already at the beginning of the video. And I will speak to you all very soon.